guys, so before we get into this video, I want to talk about last video. A few of you guys had some recommendations for me, the biggest one of which is change your microphone, because apparently I sound depressing. So I have done that. I am using a new microphone. The second thing was remove captions. Gladly, they're gone. They were a pain to edit in anyway. And then the last thing was that these videos are apparently too long, and I agree with that one. So what I've done is I've created a base plugin that will start from each video. I've also made a separate video teaching you guys how to get this program on your end. So that's down in the description below. Go ahead and watch that and meet me back when you have the base plugin loaded in Eclipse. Alright, welcome back. So today's video, we're going to work on shooting projectiles from the direction the player is facing in the game. Now that sounds complicated, but it's actually really easy. So we're going to speed code this, and feel free to pause the video if you fall behind. The first thing we need to do is get our event handler out. So event handler, and then public void on interact. Again, this part here can be anything, but I'm just going to call it on interact. And then player interact event e. Now, you're going to want to import both the interact event, the event handler, and now we're all set to get started here. So first we need to figure out who the player is. So player p equals e.get player. So from the event variable e, we're calling to see who the player in this event is, if that makes any sense. Now everything to do with the player has been assigned to the variable p. So the next thing we need to do is we need to figure out if they are right-clicking or left-clicking. We want right-clicking in this instance. So we'll do if e.getAction equals action.right-click-air, or, that's what the two double lines mean, e.getAction equals action.right-click-block. Alright, so if they are right-clicking, now we need to check to see what they're holding in their hand. So we'll do item stack is equals p.get inventory. So now we know everything in their inventory. And then get main hand. Now we know what they're holding in their main hand. Import item stack. And now we need to make sure it's actually an item in their hand. So if is does not equal null, null meaning, hey, there's nothing in there, so this variable is not going to return anything. So if it's going to return something, then we need to check what's in their hand. So if is.getType equals, let's do material.diamond bartering, which is the diamond horse armor. Alright, so if it's diamond horse armor, then we want to do our projectile stuff. So the first thing we need is a vector. So we're going to do vector v equals p.getLocation.getDirection. So this figures out which way the player is facing in the game. This is pretty much assigned to just an XYZ value, but they've condensed that into the variable v to make that easy for us. So don't worry if this trips you up. It's nothing to be tripped up about. The next thing we need to do is actually spawn the projectile. So we're going to do projectile, proj, proj equals, and then we're going to do p.getWorld. So we're telling right now which world we want to fire this projectile in. .spawn, and then we need a location and a class. So let's first start out by importing our projectile. Let's put a semicolon on the end. And let's pick a class to start. So I want to do an egg blaster, so I'm going to do egg.class. Now it might have us import this, yep. Now we need a location. So to get the player's location, we're going to do p.getLocation. Now, if we fired it from their location, the egg is going to literally spawn in their character, break instantly, and that's not what we want. That's not what we want. We want to actually fly somewhere. So we're going to do .clone, which duplicates this variable. We're going to do add, and then we're going to add nothing to the x value, add 1.5 to the y value, and add nothing to the z value. That way it looks like the egg is shooting from eye level. The last thing we want to do is .add v. This makes it so that the egg spawns just outside the player's radius. It'll take the direction they're looking at, which is no more than 1 in any direction. It's like 1 block in any direction. And it'll add it on to the current location. The next thing we need to do is projectile.set velocity, and that can just be v as well. And what you can do for fun is .multiply and then a number. I'm going to do 2.0 for this example. So this projectile will fly twice as fast as a normal one would. Once you've done this, you've basically created the plugin, and we're now going to load this into the server. One last thing I forgot to mention. Up here in your base plugin, you can either not change anything and it should work, or you can actually change your package name to be con, your username, and your regular name right up here. If you're going to do that though, go to your plugin.yml and make sure you would change the respective fields right here. Again, this will work just fine if you don't change it, so I'm not going to change it for the sake of going quick. So let's go test it. Alright, I'm here on the server now, and as you can see, let's reload, and PL, we have our base plugin loaded. It's green, so that means it's working, so we can test this. So let's get our horse armor out. Horse armor, there we go, diamond horse armor. Now if we left click, nothing's going to happen, because we set a specific action, right click. Now when we right click, we get a nice egg projectile that shoots twice as fast as normal. So that means we get some extra range going. So now if we spam it, we can get some baby hatchlings out. So there you go. You have an egg blaster. That's going to be the end of this tutorial. I'm going to try to have one out weekly. So feel free to subscribe, and thank you for watching.